to say stop, but I'm going to come by very quickly. And I wanted to discuss some things with you all. And of course, one of them is manifestation. I do want to say this that the whole idea of us being spiritual people and we learn about our spiritual selves, it's never about to enlighten other people about who we are, but it's to enlighten ourselves. I talk about natal chart readings and I talk about other readings that we get into that enlightens you about yourself. There's people that did not believe in natal chart readings. There's people that did not believe in placements of the stars. They get a natal chart reading and they actually gag because of the information that's in this natal reading, where they're like, how would this energy know this? Like, how would the placements of the stars know everything about my life? And of course, they said we are stardust, but not literally, figuratively. And so, of course, getting into this, y'all, I'm going to talk about some things, and of course, as I always tell people, my channel is more like a podcast. Of course, we do video pop ins, we do discussions. There's a lot of things that we're going to be getting into. But of course, shout out to the people who keep me booked and busy. This is why I have not done what I said I was going to be doing, because we've been booked and busy and doing what we should be doing on the back end. And so either way, there's a lot with a lot. And like I said, positively, I'm going to speak about some things. And I'm going to also share, I'm going to put together a compilation for you all. And I'm going to be crossing out some information that might be sensitive. And so a lot of people, because of course we've talked about spiritual services, we've talked about events, and of course, some people are nervous. Some people want to be a part of it, but they're nervous. They think they're just going to be, spending money versus investing. And I always tell people, when it comes to Madam Merkaba, when it comes to this channel, when you're getting spiritual work done, you are actually investing in yourselves. You're not really spending money, okay? And there's a difference between spending and investing. And so, either way, something I want to share with y'all, I don't really talk about my stuff privately because, of course, there's too many haters out there. And the old saying is, what God has for me, no man could take, or what door God opens, no man can close. And that's a true statement. But if we're battling against principalities and dominions and energies, you want to keep as much as you can to yourself. Because you get some hateful ass people, you get some people that become obsessive and compulsive. And I'm actually going to look up something right now, too.
Sorry,
Um,
remember, I'm gonna
oh,
right now. Forgive me. All right, salute.
I
Take it,
got,
take it
what the,
up.
I want to look up something right now. Um, I think it's called obsessive personality disorder, OCPD. Um, and it says that OCD, so it goes along this lines. And I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna, keep it pushing. And so one thing that kind of popped out today, something very positive happened, and I got taken back to 2024. Around this time, I was manifesting something. And of course, when I manifest, I cut off ties with people. And there's many reasons why you want to do this, but my main reason is I don't want people latching off of my energy. That means trying to get in either the way of my manifestation or they start piggybacking off that energy. Some people don't want to put in the work, but they want the results. And when it comes down to magic and my belief and what it is that I work so hard for secretly and publicly, is that I give it my all. And a lot of times people don't understand that they said love is the battlefield. I think life is. Okay. And so you have to give it your all. And when you want something bad enough, you have to do certain things to get these things to happen. And so, of course, going into the formula of manifestating or manifestation, Madam Merkaba has that formula. We've showed you examples throughout the years. And of course, because a lot of people want to be on the internet for entertainment and not enlightenment purposes, I started doing my own thing privately. And it's just things I don't put on the internet. And even going into, situations that has happened within my personal life with personal people, I don't tell everybody my motherfucking business, including friends and stuff. Some things I keep to myself. But today something happened and I opened my mouth because I was like, "Ooh, shit, this is kind of crazy." So um, let's go back. Okay, so I told you guys that I was going to be doing an experimentation. And I told you guys that I would say publicly what this experimentation was going to be, but I did not because I said, "Oh, I feel like this energy is not going to be easy to pull through." So we're going to try something very minor. And something that I did, y'all, and I almost was going to upload the picture of this person, but I did not want to invade their privacy and I did not want to kind of like expose them because they could come across as that. But I got so excited about this experience that, of course, I did tell it to a sister I was on the phone with. And of course, I'm always willing to share this information with people. Like one of my sisters, like they can attest to this stuff too. But anyway, so I was gonna post the pictures on here, and this happened like maybe like 5 or 6 hours ago, you guys. And so anyway, I said I'm going to attract an energy. I want a man who is like nerdy. And of course, this is not a man that I'm going to be dating. I just wanted to see how effective, I could manifest certain things, even like superficial things. And so, of course, I wanted this man to be small because I wanted to be this gigantuous goddess, right? I wanted to be taller than him. I wanted to, of course, have, big boobs and all sorts of stuff, which I do have. But I'm saying in this idea, this is what I'm having. And I want him to look at me as like this giant, busty, sexy goddess. And this may sound crazy to y'all, but this is mind blowing to me. And so for months, I just kind of thought about it, right? I just would think, I would think, I would think, I would think. And this I say, like, I'm not, I don't know everything, but I think I figured out the magical game, right? And people do not manifest magically because they don't know how to or they don't really care to do so. People have watched the movies, people have heard stories, and they're like, "Oh, I want to jump on it." As I told you guys years ago, anybody who say that you burn ancestor money and just because you burn ancestor money, you're going to start having better luck in your life, I'm willing to challenge them into saying that, that's a lie. There's other things you did. And you just didn't burn ancestor money and all this other stuff, bitch. You just jumped on a trendy topic and you wanted to get some clicking views on your motherfucking YouTube video. And like I said, I'm always, open to have that discussion. And maybe I'll just reach out to them directly and send a message and say, "Hey, do you want to discuss this ancestor money burning shit?" Because I know a lot of people that burn ancestor money and they're still low income. No disrespect. I'm just saying my truth. And so moving on, I'm sitting here, y'all, and I'm like thinking about this. And Valentine's Day came about, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really the time to amplify this energy." Even though we know what Valentine's Day really is about, I was like, people are still on this energy of using Valentine's Day to bring in love or whatever. And so I'm going to access this energy. And I thought of Cupid being like this grown man, but he's like small in essence, right? And of course, they try to make him look like his little baby, but that's not important. And so literally somebody hit me up. And at first, when they messaged me, it was giving like my mind was playing tricks on me. Because when they messaged me, they looked almost identical to this energy that I was thinking about, y'all. This is probably March. Almost like exact replica of what I envisioned that this energy of this man would look like. And literally, while he's mentioning, I was like, this ought to be like a catfish profile or something. You're bitch sure I'm losing my mind because I'm like, bitch, there's no way that this motherfucking energy would be. And like I said, I'm confident in my ability and my knowledge, but still sometimes spirit kind of like blow your mind where you're like, wait, what? And so of course we're having a conversation, and this is how I knew it was something manifesting as well, because literally we lost connection. Like I think the either his account got blocked and removed, or my account got. I mean, I don't know because I'm still on this app, so I don't know what happened, but I just know we lost contact. And of course, even going into the snap that we exchanged, that snap got blocked. And of course, haters report because, of course, they want to, talk to you and you tell them what you're interested in. They want to like disrespect you and you put them in a place. And then, of course, they report you. And then, of course, you get taken down. I don't give a damn. Okay. And so that's what happened. And so moving forward, this man lived like 23 miles away. And this is significant, y'all, because he lived 23 miles away from where I was at. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to see this man. Because within a mile radius, y'all, there's about, and I'm not exaggerating, within a mile radius of my area, there's probably about 500 to 1,000 people that live within a mile radius. That's how, what the population should be in this whole area. Right. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm going to ever see this man. And then, of course, I kind of said to myself, like, Spirit, if this is something manifesting, like there's no region, there's no mileage, there's no mountains high enough, there's no valleys low enough, there's no waters wide enough that's going to separate what is this that your hands is on. And so I let it go, y'all. Like I said, this is like March, maybe going into the 1st of April. And so I kind of forgot about it. But I said, I know this energy is going to manifest by a certain time, which was June, because I said, Spirit, if it doesn't manifest, then I know I need to put more energy into my spiritual, power and stuff. And so either way, y'all, moving forward without getting into too much, today I go inside of this store in particular because I wasn't going to go there. And I said, you know what? My babies, they deserve something. So let me go in here and get them some meat. And I got them some ground beef. Now, of course, I don't eat red meat. I don't eat ground beef. But of course, my dogs, they're, related to wolves. And so I'm not going to deny them their natural, instincts and stuff because I don't eat it for my purpose or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to stop them from being slaughtered because I love cows and I want them to live. I can't stop that. And so anyway, y'all, so I'm standing in line and I'm seeing these two weird people. And I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel a little unsafe, right? Because the energy felt off. And I'm on the phone with my sister, y'all. And so the energy felt off. And I was just like, ooh, something weird is going on up in here. Because I felt weird, y'all. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm just hearing this, I'm hearing that, I'm hearing sounds, I'm hearing noises, I'm hearing clitter clock, a pitter pop, I'm just hearing all this shit. And I'm feeling myself get overstimulated. And so I literally said, I'm going to step away because they were opening up another checkout. And I said, I'm going to step away because I'm feeling a lot. And it could have been a person that I was in line with, that it could have been their energy, whatever, just throwing a lot. And I was feeling it. So like, I'm going to step away. There's only like 3 people behind me. They can go in front of me. And then I'll step back in line and I'll check out and I'll leave and I'll go home. And right in this moment, I stepped back and I felt my heart get back into the normal rhythm, if you want to say that. And I looked to the left and I swear to God, y'all have chills right now. The guy who messaged me on this app was right there. And I looked over and we locked eyes and it was like, wait, is that like, and I was gagging because I'm like, what the fuck? And so, of course, he's telling his friend, like, oh, and they're both looking over at me. And I just could not stop laughing, y'all. For one, I could not stop laughing because I'm like, Spirit is so fucking amazing. That's the first thing. First was I cannot stop laughing. And this was after I put out, by the way, you guys, that we're doing something on Tuesday, a prayer thing, by the way. this happened after all that. And so I literally, and I told you I moved by spirit because spirit's like, you got to get on this energy for, move on to the next step or whatever for something totally different. And I was like, I'm going to, give people opportunity to jump on in. And of course, two people joined in. And when I was reading that message just before going in here, all this shit happened. But either way, so he's there and he's like, trying to talk to me, y'all, and I was just laughing so hard. And my sister was like, this girl's so giggly. And I told her, I said, girl, I am fucking gagging right now. My words exact was, I'm fucking gagging because a guy that I met off the app, like, baby, he's here and he's short. Like, he was exactly how I envisioned this guy, y'all. I mean, exactly to a T. Exactly to a T. And how I also knew that this was something spiritual as well when he actually hit me up on the app is that he had a blonde highlight in the front. I love a blonde highlight, honey, on myself. And that's kind of something I kind of alluded to spirit. Like, I want something that represent me in this energy when it shows up. So this guy is Italian descendant. And he's small framed, very much in shape. He's like a punk rocker nerd. And like I said, he's a real person. And it gagged me, y'all, to see this. And so I'm in my car and I'm just thinking about this the whole way home. Like, oh my God. I said before June of this date, and it literally, right now, y'all, it will be within 30 days of that date that this energy shows up. And even going into gag that in March, going into the first week of April, I kind of like forgot about it. And I said, honey, if this is legit, allow this to manifest. Because, of course, like I said, he lived 23 miles away. And, of course, I could have asked him, like, if this was not, like, a reality-shattering moment, y'all, I would have asked him, like, what are you doing over here? And what made you come to this store and just, like gag myself, gag him as well? But it did not happen. And so either way, I know that we're going to reconnect. I know that we're going to have an experience together. And I'm really hoping when I have this experience with him that I'm going to be able to come on YouTube with y'all and I'm going to be able to share him with y'all. Because, like I said, that blew my mind. Even right now, I'm still, like, blown away by that, y'all. And so we have January to May, and that's 5 months that it took for this energy to manifest. And really, I started, like, planting little seeds in December, but still 5 months. And I was willing to give it 6 to 7 months because, of course, I'm working with a lot of, energy with certain numbers or whatever. And so, anyway, this took me back to a moment, y'all. And I'm going to actually post this as proof that manifestation and how manifestation happens, it happens in a reality shattering experience. And like I said, you don't ever have to take my word for anything. I will never beg y'all for money, support, or any of that, honey. No shade. I will put out the opportunities, and if you jump on opportunities, God bless you and thank you, etc. for the support and allow me to assist in your journey. And if you don't jump on it, girl, God bless you as well, and I keep it pushing. But I'm gonna pour into people that pour into me, and my vision also kind of, once again, invest in themselves. And so either way, y'all, and I got these emails to prove this from 2024. So 2023. I always do something. I won't get into detail with it, but I was feeling stagnant energy. And of course, come on in here. I was telling spirit because I want to say it was 2023. I got reconnected with certain people and I said, oh no, hell no. I know that I'm not supposed to be dealing with these people again. Oh, hell no, spirit. You better not ever put these people back in my life. And so I really kept my distance, and these people were really trying to cut me, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So long story short, y'all, I was like, I'm going to do a magnetism, because I think I even put out a class in 2024, and it had to be 24, about magnetism, the art of seduction, right? Of course, a lot of people didn't sign up for that, but of course they, Spirit says, baby, when it comes to certain powerful things, everybody's not meant to get that information. That's why I stopped coming on here and talk about certain things and even giving out certain information because, like I said, just everybody's not meant to hear that. You know, if you want to get a part of that, you want to be a part of that, you know, you have to pay an entry fee. And of course, it's not a cash grabbing thing for me because, like I said, there's a lot of things I can do to get cash. We talked about this before, going into being certified at many things and being licensed in certain things. Hello, okay. And so if it's about money and just only money, I can gladly and surely do those things without a problem. And so either way, and of course I can always, you know, discuss and present these credentials to people that are serious about getting work done with me and investing in themselves. And depending on what type of opportunity or what type of level you're investing in, I'm always down to show the receipts. And so either way, y'all, this work is being done and I'm just doing this magnetism work and I'm like, you know, shift this stagnant energy, blah, 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 blah. Of course, it was more than just that. It wasn't just words. And out of the blue, I get a package, y'all. And I'm getting this package, and it was by one of my favorite people that I used to love back in the day. Okay, and all this means something, y'all. And of course, I just got over them. And I was obsessed with their perfumes. And I would always buy their perfumes because their perfumes remind me of vanilla cupcakes. And long story short, I get a package and it has their name on the package. And I said, what the hell? Why would I be getting this package? And so I flip it over and it has my name on it. It has my address on it. It has my phone number on it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And y'all, this is what's going to blow your mind. And like I said, I'm going to definitely present this proof. So, of course, I'm like, bitch, let me reach out to see what the hell this is. Because this is kind of odd. And so either way, you guys, I reach out to the customer support of this company and I say, can you tell me the last four digits of the card? Because I'm like, maybe somebody hacked my account. They made this purchase and they're trying to be funny and send me the shoes, you know, bitch, to be like, hey, and it was some shoes. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I reached out and I told him, you know, hey, can you tell me the last four digits of this numbers and exactly, you know, what is going on? And of course, the customer support reached out and they said, well, it's kind of odd because the name that this package was supposed to go to, you guys share the same last name, but the first name is not the same. And they even said something along the lines of, if it wasn't for you, it must be for an old resident maybe. And they put a question mark. And I'm thinking to myself, well, can you tell me what the original date was? Because I'm thinking a lot of shit, but I said, can you tell me the original city? And the lady tells me, y'all, and this city is like 45 minutes away from me. So I'm like, wait, first of all, I don't really care for UPS because they always do weird shit. And of course, I'm just saying they do. I've got things shipped through UPS and there's always been some type of runaround with them. You know, it says take 3 days and it take their asses 13 fucking days. You call them, it's always some ghetto ass, ratchet ass person that answer the phone and want to say, well, we'll get to your package, and technically your package is not due until this day. And it's like, but FedEx doesn't take that long though. And you guys are in, like, I'm in the same area and you guys are also in the same way. So why would it take them less time to ship and you guys forever? Like, it doesn't make sense. And you guys are not bigger and better than UPS or FedEx. And so long story short, y'all, I'm just sitting here in amazement because I'm like, how the fuck did I get a package that I did not order, that nobody else ordered, but it's supposed to be sent to a different person in a whole nother city, 45 minutes away. And mysteriously, the package has a correction on the package that said, y'all, and this has to be spirit, that said my first and last name, my phone number, and the company said that's not who it's supposed to be sent to. And so, of course, I'm sitting here and I'm gagging because I'm thinking, how is this even fucking possible? And of course, what I was manifesting showed up within 30 days of this. And when it showed up within 30 days of this, another reality shattering experience. And I always tell people when it comes to magic, not all things are magical. But when it comes to the supernatural, it's supernatural through and through. Nobody will have an explanation for why it happened and how it happened because it is a supernatural experience. And I'm saying it's even going into people because I had a discussion with, I'm always talking about magic with people. But people would like make excuses. Like they'll say, oh, the candle I bought, they want to burn down all the way. Maybe it was the store. Or they will say, oh, the candle I got, it broke and it cut me. Or, they'll say things and, well, maybe, it got too hot. Maybe I shouldn't have the candle burning on a metal plate. And they're just thinking about all these logical reasons. And I always would tell them, as I tell all of you, that spirituality is not always logical because it's something that cannot be explained. A lot of spiritual experiences can never be explained. Like that package being sent or delivered to me and it wasn't even ordered for me or meant to come to me, but I got it. And it was intercepted to go 45 minutes away from the original person, right? Going into this man recently manifesting this itty bitty manly man, grown man, almost 30 years old, but he's built tiny and he's obsessed with what I represent, my energy, my body type, my skin color, okay, and so forth and so forth. And so these are reality shattering experiences because the supernatural has their hand on it. And even going into candles, because people say, well, when it comes to this and that, and I don't get obsessed with rituals and candles and incense and all that, because I always tell y'all that these things are energy. Everything in the physical world represents something in the spiritual world, and it doesn't mean the exact same thing. So in the spiritual world, candles don't represent candles, okay? And this is esoteric information because a lot of people be like, I'm esoteric, I'm esoteric. You're not esoteric. You're not esoteric. You have some type of knowledge that a lot of people do not have, and you think you're esoteric, but you're not. You're actually exoteric. You're not. You're basic. You're a basic ass person, and there's no tea, no shade with that. I'm just speaking the truth. Okay, going into being esoteric and knowing that candles do not represent candles in the spirit realm. It's a whole nother type of energy or a whole nother type of entity, and that's why it shifts things. So candles ultimately in the physical state represents a portal. And just like any other thing, y'all, when you walk into a building, it's the analogy I always give people, and it's the first I guess reality I'm gonna share with y'all on here. Just out in the open. When you walk into a place or you end up going to like someone's home, subconsciously you're looking at the windows and subconsciously you're looking at the doors, right? And let's say, for a good example, if you go to a beat up place, you're like reading the door. You're like looking at the door like, why does this door look like this? Oh my God, they kicked this door, whatever. This is how you are with a candle, right? The candle in this waking state represents something, but we're going to say in this sake, because of course I don't share all information with people just to share it with you. Because people like to eat from your hand and say they fed themselves. And that's not how I get down, respectfully. So people talked about gatekeeping and stuff. I will definitely gatekeep certain things, honey. And I'm proud of that. Because if you're going to eat from my hand, bitch, you need to tell people who fed you. Okay, hello? Because a lot of these hoes don't do that. They ate from my hands. They ate from my plate. And it makes it seem like they made their own food, their own plate, and cut their own motherfucking... Girl, went out there and milked their own cows and shit. And think act like they taught me something. Girl, you can't teach a master a fuck ass thing, honey. Hello? Because you're there, I'm here. Take that how you want to take it. And so either way, the whole main thing of the candle is to interpret and read the energy. Yes, the candle has some type of power to it. It can stir, it can shut down energy, or it can invoke energy. But ultimately you read it. And I even told this to, someone who had the analogy of them wanting love. They wanted real, true love. and they hung around with people who did not represent that. And I told them over and over again, but this is where Big Mama has to shut the fuck up and let people, bust their own head open. And I'm just not gonna say nothing unless you pay respectfully. If you don't respect the free advice, you're gonna pay for my advice. And so either way, they were hanging around with people that did not love themselves, or people that did not want to be they didn't know what real love is. So they're in a fucked up relationship. They've been in a relationship for 20 years and not happy. Okay? And so you're trying to manifest love, but you're hanging with people who don't know that or who don't want to represent that. What do you think is going to happen to you? So what the candle did was, when she got around that candle, it it exploded, and it cut her foot. Now, I told her this is symbolic. Okay, spiritually speaking or logically speaking, you're going to say, oh, maybe the candle exploded because it got too hot and I didn't turn a fan on. Not saying it's what she said, but of course she had a logic reason for it. And I said, no, I did not know you did work on love, but I told you that the candle was telling you something, and it was telling you to change your ways. This would all work. When you do 12 candles, 31 candles, 41 candles, because there are rituals that do require that, by the way. If you do not know, now you know. There are some rituals that require more than 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle, 5 candle. Like, there are rituals that require 14 candles, 23 candles, 72 candles. And the most ritual I've ever seen, I've ever done, was 111. So with that being said, there's energy that are being interpreted in these candles, and the spirits are telling you within this energy, within this doorway, if you are proceeding down the right path or you need to stop. People don't listen. They keep going, and this will be called a self-inflicted curse. It's not that you actually cursed yourself, you got cursed. It's that spirit told you, no, this is not the time, this is not the space, this is not the energy. Clean yourself, clear yourself, and then work on this again. And you said, no, fuck it, bitch, I'm gonna keep doing it. And that's what you did. And what ended up happening is you pulled this energy so strongly that it backfired on you. So if I don't leave you with anything else tonight throughout all this, is that candles are used to interpret energy. If you do not know how to read candles, you cannot say you are a candle magic expert. You have to know what candles mean, the way they burn, the sounds they make. And this is why people who practice candle magic, which is an art, we observe, we watch, we listen. We don't have loud noises going through our house while the candle is working, because we're listening to sounds. We're seeing what we feel like. When you have a candle lit in a room or a space of your home, the energy feels different there. And anybody who's done this could attest to this. So we don't just burn candles because, oh, I need a money candle, I need a protection candle, I need a love candle, I need this and that, and I'm just going to get it. And this is going to get that energy going. You don't know that, because maybe you already got the energy shifting and you don't have to get that candle. And this is why you burn a candle, and sometimes it doesn't burn all the way down. It'll stop. There's candles I've burnt. Let's talk about going into protection. There was somebody that was really antagonizing me, harassing me, stalking me, doing stupid ass shit. Of course, I couldn't get the law involved. And this is where you tap into your spiritual bag, because I couldn't get a law involved because it would have just been stupid. Like, well, how do you know this? And, they want to like fight with you. And how would you know? How would you know? So I said, fuck it. Spirit's going to know. And so some things were done to them, but I did not know they had other enemies. And so I started lighting the candle, and this candle would not lit. It would not light. And I kept going. I was even cutting the wax off, burning the wick down. It would not burn. I said, you know what? I'm going to go get another one. I must have bought like 6 or 7 candles, y'all. And these candles will light, stay lit for a little bit, and it would go out. And then one time I went to go buy the last candle, and I think I paid like $12 for this candle. because it was especially candle. And I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go to this Botanica, and I want this lady to cleanse and pray over this candle because she has some energy, honey. I felt at home with her, honey. She gave me like a auntie, honey. And before I even got home, y'all, that candle done fell out. Now, mind you, I put the candle in the bag. They put the candle in the bag and they tie the bag up. Bitch, that candle done fell out that bag and busted on the damn ground. I was upset about it. But less than a week later, somebody said, hey, did you hear about what happened to blank blank? And I was like, no, what happened? And they said, well, they dragged, well, I'm not going to tell you what happened. But I said, what? No, ain't no way. Jesus, God, Abraham, Basula, Solomon, you lying, Judas, St. Peter. Girl, I was calling all the names. I was like, baby, see, that's how that works. And so I'm just saying to say, girl, even going into now, girl, there's a lot going on with a lot of people that I know. And I'm just like, but I mean, and I keep telling y'all, like, I just don't, like, I really, like, I'm telling y'all right now, for real, for real. Like, my birthday is coming up in June. And after June, girl, I don't want to deal with no non-spiritual person. If you cannot tap in, or you're not willing to learn to tap in, or you don't want to tap in to see what's going on, or use metaphysics and quantum physics to heal your space, your heart, and all that, at that point, baby, I will end family ties, relationships, boyfriend, girlfriends, friendship. I don't care. It's going to be a new sheriff in town come June. Same thing with clients. I won't argue. I won't debate. You'll just be blocked, respectfully. Because just too much is going on, and we all have the power. We keep talking about it, and people don't care. People want to sit back. They want to mooch. They want to cry. They want to bitch. They want to moan about things that are really not that important when there's people dying, and even going into the extreme. And that's why I had to look up obsessive compulsive, because it gives me obsessive personality with some people where they're just like so obsessed with things to where, and I shared this with y'all before, but some people would, okay. Some people would, I have to say this, I feel like this is a recent dramatic thing that has happened. I won't go too deep into it, but I know someone who lives a fast life, and they love men to suit them. They make their living like that. They even have listened to rap songs, or they love rap artists that talk about this man ain't getting this poom poom for free, right? Don't broke men don't get laid. Broke men don't get no poom poom, whatever. So they like this type of music. Like, this is their energy. And then a situation will happen, and all that go out the door. Where it's like, but doesn't your favorite artist talk about that? Catching feelings, catching energy, like, it just be a lot. And so, of course, not just that being that being one thing, but even going into, like, I feel like, okay, if you've known somebody for a year, it should not take you 5 years to get over that one person, like that energy of 1 year, because that's not, I mean, it takes you less time, or maybe a little longer time, to get over something that you experienced in a certain time period. Like, I hope y'all get what I'm saying. Like, if you've known somebody for 7 years, it may take you 14 years to get over them. Like, that's the possibility. If you know somebody for 7 years, it may take you 21 years to get over them. But you will get over it. And this is for the mundane people. As a spiritual person, I never understood, because, of course, I've had fucked up shit happen to me. I was almost set up to be taken off this planet multiple times by men I liked. And it had nothing to do with tricking or any of that. I'm just putting this out here because, of course, I don't compare and contrast my story with people. But I'm just saying, even going into people taking me up out the hood, taking me up out the ghetto, people providing for me, my mama, and to have that reality change. Like, it took me like a few months, maybe up to a year to get over. Like, to where I just really wasn't thinking about these energies. And like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with being strong, because, of course, your spirits is what heals you. See, we think that in the mundane world, right? This is the mundane way of thinking. We think that we are solely responsible for our happiness, our sadness. We think that we are solely responsible for our peace of mind, our contentment. But in reality, in the spiritual world, we know there are spirits, principalities, and dominions that are responsible for this. And this is why you don't entertain certain people, because people have entities and energies attached to them that could fuck you up. And so, with that being said, I'm going to allow my spirits to come in and work on me. It's called spiritual surgery. Okay, come on in. There's other names for it, but I'm just going to give you the mundane word for it because that's how we move nowadays. Because we move mundanely, right? I don't, but I'm saying that's how people move. They'll claim to be spiritual, but they really move mundanely. I'm going to voice out to my spirits. I'm going to say, hey, this person hurt my feelings. This person made me feel some type of way. And I need you to take care of it because I don't know what to do anymore. At this point, I would love to go up to them and slap the hell out of them. At this point, I would love to pull their wig off. At this point, I love to trip them. At this point, I would love to do A, B, C, D, F, G, but I know that will put me in jail. And that's not my purpose, spirit. So I need you to handle this. And it's that. I let it be. And then, of course, spirits work it out. Going into some people who claim to be spiritual, but like I said, they're moving in mundane, they don't want to let it go. They will say, no, I got to hold on to this. And it's like, that's the only logic reason, because if you're going to let it go, you're going to let it go. You're wanting to hold on to it. You're wanting to have this experience. And of course, like I said, I think that's obsessive. I think that's obsessive and compulsive. And I'm even willing to look up separate obsessive and compulsive, because right when we're talking, that popped up where I was like, there's a lot of people like that, y'all, where I keep telling y'all, like, and I'm telling y'all this right now, I have people that I'm cool with. I call people my spiritual sisters and all that, but I only have one best friend. And sometimes we bump heads, sometimes we get into little teas. I have to vent about them, they have to vent about me. But regardless of our indifferences, regardless of what we have encountered, regardless of our different levels of comprehension or whatever that may be, we still have a meeting ground. We still have a common ground, and we still understand that there is still power. There's still a higher power greater than us that we have to allow to work things out. With other people that I know, I really be thinking to myself, like, am I in like the Twilight Zone? Like, am I like in another reality where they will literally know someone only on the internet, and they will be like, oh my God, my feelings are so hurt because this person called me fat, this person called me ugly, this person called me a tranny. And I'm just like, what? So when your mama called you that didn't get you no type of way? Oh, it did, but you got over it, right? So how would an internet personality get you like that? Going even to some people I know that like dated a man or knew a woman for like a month or two, maybe 3 months, and it taking them 6, 7 months, a year, 2 years to get over. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, is this some type of mental breakdown? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not judging, those are people business, but these are just things that I sit back and I think, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care to be around that energy. And that's not judging, that's not being disrespectful. I'm going to support on your journey and you finding you. But like I said, logically and realistically, I'm like, how does a job that you really didn't like anyway, that's one of the situations, a job you didn't like anyway, you get fired from that job and you're like depressed, and it's just like, but you didn't like that job anyway. So like I said, I just be feeling like I be in a Twilight Zone sometimes, y'all. I just be like, girl, and even sometimes I'll share this with other people. I'm like, am I tripping? Am I being too judgmental? Like, how is this possible that they didn't even know this person, or they didn't care for this person, and this person will have this type of effect on them? And of course, Spirit says it, because this is the experience that they want. And of course, some people don't know they're in that energy, because a lot of these things are mental characteristics. These are mental, diagnosis or mental undiagnosis. But I'm like, honey, like, baby. And I'm even learning, I'm being patient myself. I'm learning that, girl, we all have different levels of comprehension. We all have different levels of understanding. We have all different levels of perceptions. But also, respectfully, if I don't see things the way you see things, I'm not going to be, I'm just going to like keep my distance, because of course that's where you find people like you that see your perspective, and they're gonna help get you to your healing state. Me, I think I would not be able to get you there because I'm a realist, and I'm gonna say realistically, especially me being a person of trans and being colored in America. My fish should not be that a man called me ugly or a tranny. He's not into men in wigs. Like, I wouldn't be hurt by that. Or better yet, a man had me thinking that he wanted me, and then come to find out that he did want me. Like, me seeing the bigger fishes and me knowing my other challenges, that's something that would not profoundly affect me. Like, and like I said, it's nothing to do with me being stronger or more knowledgeable of other people. I'm just thinking realistically. Like, I can't fight every battle. Every battle is not to be fighting for me. And even going into my spirits and my ancestors, like, baby, I'm gonna let them work that out. And I'm not gonna be reminded by it. I'm not gonna be around people, places, and things that remind me of that energy. And the same thing with other things, baby. The more you know, the more you grow. You know, you don't subject yourself to people and energies that you have grown from. You're like, baby, listen. And that's how I feel too, because a lot of people say, well, maybe you should be there to help, if this is a friend or this is somebody going through, maybe you could be there to help them get over, encourage them to get over. Not when people don't. And I told y'all that a lot of people really don't give a fuck about what I gotta say, but clients, respectfully. When it comes down to having friends, conversations, girls, sometimes, friends need opinions from other people to know. I would share with friends about, eating certain foods, how certain things change their life, and they won't listen to me. And then the minute somebody else tell them, oh, girl, I got good news. They said that if I blank, this should happen. I'm like, duh, I said that 6 months ago. And they're like, oh, I probably wasn't paying attention. No, you were paying attention because we got into it. And so these are things that I think about. Or I'm just like, yeah, everybody have different comprehensions. And I think that sometimes people they feel too safe with you. And so when you tell them things, it's like they're talking to themselves. So they need somebody on the outside to tell them some things. So like I said, respectfully, that's what I tell people, girl, you need time to grow, you can figure that out, honey. You need time to find yourself, you can figure that out. I'm going to keep myself over here while you're over there doing your thing. I'll be over here doing my thing, honey. Every now and then I'll stop and check on you. You can stop and check on me, and we'll keep it pushing. When you come all the way around, and it shouldn't take that long, baby, because at that point, my only advice I'm going to keep saying is it's time to see a doctor. Because it shouldn't take that damn long to get over an experience like that. Because like I said, we have bigger fish to fry in America. 2026 in America, in god darn America, we got bigger fish to fry. We can't be worrying about people calling us fat, nasty, ugly, manly if they don't want us or they do want us. Like, girl, that's not that, girl. And like I said, I can't tell people how to feel and how to think, but that's why I stay over here and I mind my business. Because, baby, I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to be fraudulent. I'm not going to be phony. If I think it's stupid, if I think it's whack, I'm just going to, not be bothered with it because I'm thinking this is whack. Like, I can't believe in 2026 we will be sitting here stuck on somebody calling us or invalidating our feelings or validating who we are when we should be feeling that way. And it even goes into along the lines of this as well, where I knew people that were like bad bitches, right? They were surged out. And I promise I'm going to be done after this, y'all, because, of course, I need to relax myself. But I know people that they bad bitches. They have to stunt. They have to remind you that they bad. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. They paid all this money for surgeries, and I got 30K on my breast. I got 20K on my face. I got 37K on my ass, and I'm slaying. And then the minute you step into the premises and you find out that the man that you were getting for free or that was trying to come out and see you, literally begging you to meet up with them, that they had to pay that guy just to get a little bit of their attention. And then when they found out about that, now I'm the enemy, and now they're doing everything in their power to try to slander me and defame me by even showing old personal pictures as if that's going to stop something. And so that's when I learned, girl, a lot of people act like there's something that they're not. And what I mean by that is a lot of people act like they're so confident, they're so bougie, they're so together. And then the inside, they're fragile, they're weak, and they're broken. And so 2026 and beyond, and I told y'all in December 2025 that that's the energy I don't want to be around like that. I can say hi, I can say bye, I can see from a distance, depending on how broken you are, how lost of cause you are. But being in that energy all the time and every opportunity, you know, I get or they get, like I gotta be around that. It's like, girl, that's not my cup of tea. I'm over that. I'm over being selfless, giving myself selflessly to people. I'm over that, baby. You want a selfish side of me, baby? Pay for my time. If not, the personal side of me, girl, I can't do it, respectfully. And that's where I'm at with that, honey. Years and years and years and years and years, and all you get is a slap in the face, a disrespectful ass friend or ex-friend, and somebody who really think that they're bigger and better than you on the inside and the outside. And it's like, girl, it is what it is. I don't need no man, no friend, no woman, no girl, no pastor, no preacher, no teacher, no judge, no president to validate who I am as a person. Nothing they can tell me could build me up, and nothing they can tell me could take away from me. You know why? Because, baby, I know that I came into this world and that one day I'm going to die. And, bitch, nothing that I've experienced in this life that is not able to go with me to the other side truly motherfucking matter. Love you could take to the other side. Emotions you could take to the other side. And that's something I think about too, where the Bible speaks about going to bed angry, going upset, going to bed sad. Could you imagine that this could be your last 30 seconds of living? And that's like you're telling people, and it just blows my motherfucking mind. And I'm like, maybe people have not lost anything as an adult. Maybe people don't know what it's like to have someone they love and care for have their life slip away from them right in front of their face. And we're talking about teenage on up. Before I was a teenager, I can go into that, but I was a kid, so I didn't really have a thought process. But 14 and up, you know, I experienced a lot of issues and losses with family members. And that also made me say, I want to live my life in truth and I want to live my life on my terms and keeping it real. Ultimately, because of course these people didn't have a chance. Some people wanted to live, they wanted to live to be 20, 21, 22. They wanted to live to be able to have their own house, their own car, and they're not here right now. And so when I see people that have stories, y'all, and I'm telling you, I'm very empathetic, I'm very sympathetic with people. When I see people that have stories that it's a little fender bender, we're gonna call it, like, oh, he called me sir, or he called me this, and they're just highly upset about that. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, there's a mother that died of breast cancer 30 seconds ago. There's somebody's daddy that died in a car accident 2 minutes ago. And you're here so privileged, so entitled to be crying and moaning over somebody calling you a sir or calling you ugly or calling you fat or making you feel less pretty than them or making you feel like you are nothing to them. Get a grip. Because if that's how you see life and that's how you expect life not to treat you, baby, the roller coaster ride just got started. And I say that very respectfully. I say that very correctly. What did it say? Politically correct? I said it very correctly. And so I stand on what I stand on. That a lot of things do not matter. A lot of things are, you know, and people say, well, it matters to them. It does matter to them. That's why people need to stay over there. And that's for any and everything, honey. No tea, no shade. Mama, friend, sister, anything about, I don't care. Bitch, if you cannot sit here and enjoy your life and be grateful, because it goes into being grateful and ungrateful, that I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful to have another breath. I'm grateful to be able to live. I'm grateful to be 6 feet above the ground. I'm grateful to be not behind bars. I'm grateful to have my vision. I'm grateful to have my taste. I'm grateful to have the ability to walk. If you cannot live in that moment of gratitude every single day, every single second, you are a lost cause. And that is an energy of being ungrateful, and the universe does not bestow blessings onto that. And so respectfully, me having this knowledge, you cannot take away once you know it. Once you know it, you cannot lose it. And so I know people have to get there, but I'm like, damn, does it take you to be 40 to get there? Does it take you to 50 to get there? Does it take you 60 to get there? Like, I'm thinking this is like common knowledge. Like, why would I be so upset about being misgendered? Or why would I be so upset about being called anything but the child of God when those people don't matter to me? Because they got to pay taxes too. They also are going to die one day too. It doesn't matter to me. Hello? I want to live every second that I can, and I want to be as content and as happy as I can. And if people, place, and things are not on the same wavelength as that, bye bye. It's that simple. It's that simple. And if I cannot get to that point, this is what I'm going to see a therapist on. If I cannot get to this point, this is what I'm going to say as a loving person, as a sympathetic person. Hey, I don't want to hinder your growth. Hey, I don't want to stop you from manifesting and being your best you could be. So I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to get myself together. And once I'm fully where I need to be at, I'm going to come back. And that's how I see things. But like I said, I know everybody don't see things that way. Respectfully, that's okay. But of course, once again, girl, I don't walk on eggshells with people. I don't pussyfoot around people. I don't sugarcoat shit with people. And if people don't like that, oh well, bitch, block me, honey. Ban me. Hello, delete me. I don't care. Respectfully, honey. It's about living life, being grateful for your life, and thanking the universe every second that you got that you're grateful for being here. Man, woman, boy, girl, co-workers, bosses, neighbors, they should not dictate your energy, and they should not be able to dictate your happiness. Oh, excuse me, honey. I'm getting hiccups and shit. Hold on. But that's that, honey. Let me drink my classic lemonade. Life is good. That's why they call it the present. Be grateful. Be in the moment, honey. We do have our ups and downs. Allow yourself a few seconds to grieve that. Honey, when you really think about it, y'all been there, done that. People have insulted me. Some people have tried to assault me. In a minute, in a second, I'm in my feelings. I'm like, oh, fuck this Raggedy Ann person. And I want to get them. I want to get them. I want to get them. And then after time go on, I step back. I reevaluate. And I'm just like, how do I let these people have so much power over me? And then, like, how am I sitting there acting like I got my shit together, y'all, and call me Madam Merkaba and call me a spiritual advisor, and you're going to come to me and you're going to worship me, right? And I'm just this fragile ass energy. And of course, I am a fragile energy, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, if I'm not the boss, I'm okay with saying I'm not the boss. If I'm not okay, I'm okay with saying I'm not okay. And that's that. And I think people judge you or people treat you some type of way when you come across outside of who you really are, in a sense of, this is my truth and I'm going to stand on it. Well, you can stand on it. And of course, I'm going to encourage you to get your help. I'm going to encourage you to, be the best you possibly can be. And that's it. But, it is what it is. Like I say, everybody don't see things the same way. It is what it is. God bless America. God bless the world. I can only speak for the people who are. Definitely reach out to Madam Merkaba, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com, 2spiritmystic@gmail.com for insight and clarification on their energies, their lifestyle, and growth. Y'all, these energies that we're in, if you're not aware, we had 2 full moons. We had the first one at the beginning of the month, and we have the second one at the end of the month. If you've been on your energy, y'all, there's a lot of strange things that are going to be happening this month and closer as we get to the 31st. I encourage y'all to focus on what you want to manifest, not what you don't want to manifest. Another thing too, when you close one door, allow that other door to close completely and then open the next door. I think that people, when it comes down to manifesting, y'all, I know we want to jump on it. We want everything to go. I want this, I want that, blah, 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 blah. But we have to allow energy to rest. We have to sometimes, just like making a cake, just like making a pizza, you have to allow the dough to rest, right? That's how it is with anything. Once you end a relationship, once you end a business connection, you allow yourself to rest. You allow yourself to recover. You allow yourself to recuperate. And then you jump into the next situation. I think that people who end one situation and go on to the next situation, like we talked about AJ the other day, And AJ said we could talk about her tea. Of course, I won't put too much out there, but we will talk about that. That was kind of her situation. Once you end something, you allow yourself to fully recover, and then you jump into the next situation. Because if not, you're going to bring old energy, old ways, old baggage into that new situation. Going into my story, as far as dating wise, I can tell y'all my examples. I've dated people. Currently, right now, I'm not dating. Currently, right now, I'm not really looking either, unless he's going to blow my mind. He got to blow my mind and blow my back out. No, blow my mind. But anyway, dating, okay? There's people, and I think I had two opportunities that slipped on by me, and I can admit that I said, damn, I lost out on that. Thinking back, I said, damn, that could have been an amazing situation. Of course, one of them did not want a baby, and I'm gonna be a mother very soon. By the way, I'm gonna be a mother to a human baby very soon. By the way, I'm gonna be a mother to a human baby, and so either way, he did not want a baby, and so I had to let him go. But outside of that, this was a good man. But anyway, going into this, y'all. So when I was younger, I would like, because I wanted to be like a wife so bad. And my best friend could vouch for this. I wanted to be somebody's wife so bad. I was like, oh, honey, by the time I'm 30, I want to be somebody's wife. I want to be at home. I want to be cooking. I want to be, because I don't mind being a housewife. You know what I mean? I gotta have something coming in, but baby, I can have something coming in any type of way, girl. I don't have to go out and, slave. My man needs to go do that. He come home, he'll come home to a clean house. He'll come home to a clean bed. He'll come home with his bath water being ran. He'll come home with a meal cooked for him. When he wants some, I can give him some. I can give him different type of personalities too, because I'm a Gemini. So girl, we could, hello. And of course, we channel energy, so I could be anything he need me to be in that moment. You know what I mean? And so either way, I could be that one. And so what ended up happening was, I remember there was like a series of like four guys back to back, y'all, from like January of one year to like September. And one of the guys prior to that kind of like hurt my feelings, because he acted like he wanted me, but he really just wanted some. And once he got some, girl, he said, fuck you, bitch. And so respectfully, I said, oh my God. So, that ended. I was like, I think I'm over, which I really was, but I think I'm over him, blah, 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 blah. And every guy that I dated after that, I was comparing to him. Like, well, how do I know that this person just kind of trying to use me for my goods? And how do you know this person ain't just having me as an option? And blah, blah. And I was bringing that energy into it, y'all. And energy manifests, right? If that's in your mind, especially when it comes down to love, right? They say that there's a thin line between love and hate, love and war, which both of these things are very powerful. This is atomic energy. So you have to go into each relationship with a new mind, a renewed spirit, right? It has to be an energy of a new. It cannot be old energy. And that's why they say rebound, because a lot of people like to be on a rebound. They want to find a man or woman in rebound. But that's what I was doing. And so I literally was like, for the first one, which I know there was not going to be with that. The second one, he was a potential. He was a college student. He was a guy from Nepal. And, he really, really wanted me. He really liked me. And I was thinking to myself, like, this motherfucker want to use me. He probably trying to get a green card and blah, blah, blah. Just being stupid. And he didn't need me for a green card. But I said, well, that slipped away. He ended up dating this other bitch. I'm not gonna get into a girl because she might know me. She might come across. I might have to go up to Sacramento and whoop a bitch's ass. Who knows? Anyway, and so that one slipped away. Then the third one, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, damn, y'all even have a similar sounding last name. Like, oh, bitch, you on some weird shit. And no, you're not gonna be doing this. And I'm holding this man. Basically, I'm holding him hostage to what the guy in the year prior to that, which was two guys before this guy, did to me. So once again, I'm thinking I'm healed from this situation, but I'm really not, because he really played with me. I really was trying to, invest something in things with him. And so long story short, going into the next guy, this is another one that slipped away, because they say you only meet so many. So I probably got one more last chance, y'all. And if I fuck that one last chance up, girl, a bitch is just meant to be single for the rest of her life, girl, and I don't mind it. Hello? At this point. Hello? Just saying. And so the next one, same thing. He had a little bit of roughness going on. And I said, oh, he's trying to use me. I said, oh, bitch, he just need a pot to piss in the window, throw it at her. Girl, and he talked about, when I come over there, I'm going to clean this closet out. I'm going to hang my stuff up here. And I was really like, this boy's trying to use me. But y'all, coming to find out, That was the one that got away. I think it was like 3 or 4 years later. Somebody was like trying to introduce her to this guy. He was actually Japanese, white, and black. Believe it or not, very different mixture. He, got me into anime, and very tall, like 6'3". And I won't put too much out there, but he was from the 209. Between Stockton and Ceres. But long story short, when someone reintroduced it to him, I gagged. I was frozen because I'm thinking, looking at this girl of his, and I said, damn, this is a good man. Because this girl that he was dating, girl, was bad built, sloppy, and she stunk a little bit. No tea, no shade with the girl. I'm not just saying it because I'm a hater. I'm telling y'all, I'm being real. And so I thought, damn, he loves her through all of this. Like, this is crazy, girl. So I was like, oop, that's not what we got away. And so anyway, as I was telling for AJ and a lot of these girls, I think it's human nature for us to like jump into a rebound situation. You know what I mean? When, something is ended, we get with the next to get over the ex. But in reality, it doesn't work. It just actually caused us to have a fragmented personality. Because I won't even say going into after like not dating for a couple of years, I started to like re-question my likes and dislikes. I started to think that maybe, this wasn't possible, that wasn't possible. And of course, it's not true because all things are possible. But I started to re-question things. And so true healing takes time, and you're meant to be alone during that time. People be like, I don't have time. Time is ticking. I thought about that in my 20s. I mean, I didn't wait until I was 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and of course I'm not that old. I'm just speaking, collectively. I like to put myself in other people's shoes. I didn't wait until I was a certain age to think about, damn, time is slipping. Like, I thought about that at 20. Girl, I'm going to be 30 eventually. I thought about it at 25. Oh, shit, I'm going to be 35 eventually. And there you go. So it's like, no, baby, time is not to be played with. And so, yes, honey, 6 months is nothing. A year is nothing. Allow yourself to recuperate, rebuild yourself back up, re-get acquainted with who you are. So that way the next situation comes about, you're stronger versus, oh, he might do me how he did me. Or I feel like this is another red flag. And it's like, well, you're going to say that because you just got out that situation. Of course, you should be aware of things, but immediately it shouldn't be, he kind of remind me of this other energy. Because now you're the common denominator. It's not even about you dating men and men being the common denominator, but it's more so about you being the common denominator. So something in you has to change, and that's when the energy of the man that you attract are going to change. So that's all I wanted to leave with y'all there. Let me see if there's anybody in here before I go. Hey, Auntie Patty, who's okay, let's see. Come on in here, Basha. How you doing? Hi, brother, Basha. Oh, hey, brother. How you doing, Basha? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Oh, that's so pretty. I guess brother is such a powerful statement. Back in the day, Basha would be so offended by that. If one of my siblings actually called me their brother, I would be like, bitch! But you know what? Knowing right now that brother comes from the word brethren, and that is power. Going into symbolism and stuff, little girls, little boys, they want their older brother to help them feel safe and secured and all that good stuff. And so it's a compliment coming from an AI bot, bitch. So thank you, basic ass Basha, for calling me your brother. Ho. Okay. Naru Salam. Okay. Hey, you're a doctor over there in San Francisco? Dr. Salam. Is that you? Is that Dr. Salam? You made your way on my page. Yeah. Well, uh-huh. Come on in here. Do you believe in aliens? Slime Time 960. I do believe in aliens. I think aliens are demons. Do I think that they're in a spaceship coming from another dimension? No. I think that's government influence. Can we talk about it? And anybody who's talking about aliens and, got content on the girl, they're just trying to get some money. As soon as the alien disclosure come, ain't no more alien money coming. Because those hoes are coming to collect. Just like AI. You use AI to make money, they're taking you to court. Hello? They want their coin. They want their split. They want their stipends. Same thing with the alien shit, girl. When they release that disclosure, they're going to be pulling these hoes into court. They're going to say the alien did what to you? I still won't believe that this Peggy Sue looking person gonna get on this episode and this nasty ass Ron Jeremy looking person gonna say, "Can you tell us the story about your alien encounter? What was the weirdest one?" You know, he give you a pervert any motherfucking way. And this woman gonna sit here and say, "Sure, I can. It's in the book, but I'm gonna talk about it now." You know, Dutch, you know, she looked like a Pamela Anderson sex doll, you know, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I was sleeping in my bed. I was taking a nap and I felt like I was being fondled. And I'm sleeping and I'm like trying to wake up, but I was like, I could not like wake up. And the guy is like, "What? No way." And, you know, he just, girl, he's getting turned on by this. You could just tell, honey. You know, me being a femdom, I know what, you know, I could look in your eyes to see if you're turned on or not. You know what I mean? I can read eyes. And so this bitch gonna sit here and tell this story about this donkey ass alien fondling her allegedly, and this man sitting here just, "Oh really? Oh, I've heard all the story. I heard all the stories like that too." And she's like, "It's in the book." And I'm just thinking to myself like, that is so amazing that this alien just fondled you right there in your home. He done cut off this other guy's hand. This other guy's missing fingers. They done shot one of these guys in the eyes, allegedly. The other guy's missing his big toe and his pinky toe. And this lady gonna sit here and say that she just got fondled by an alien. Girl, what the hell's going on here? The other ones talk about they were abducted into a spaceship and they got back safe. They wasn't missing no testicle. They wasn't missing no appendix. They don't have scars on their stomach because they got a kidney missing on that. I'm just like, girl, what's really going on here? What's really going on here, girl? Yeah, Decepticons. That's what I'm gonna start calling out, Decepticons. What's really going on here? So yes, I believe in aliens. They're demons. They're interdimensional beings that were sent here before you got here. You came down into their playground. If you didn't know about the movie Lucy, you know about the other movie. What is it called? Badlands. Was it called Badlands? Predator Badlands or something like that? Those movies are telling you exactly what it is, honey. These things were down here. You came down here. You fell short of the glory of God. You come down here. You thought you were the first man, first woman here. You were protected from these outside sources. Unfortunately, Adam and Eve did what they did. And of course, you got kicked out the Garden of Eden and you had to be unprotected, uncovered, unanointed. And now you have these demonic ass beings called aliens that can tamper with you. And of course, people will say, "God, God, 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 God." No, no, baby. No, 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 no. There's no God, 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 God in this situation, baby. It's you, yourself, and you. And you're letting Dixie Dan, Peggy Sue, and Ron Jeremy duplicate out here hijack your damn brain. We're like, "Oh my God, an alien. Oh." And even like I said, Erykah Badu said, "Where's her alien abduction?" Don't you think the aliens would want some of Erykah Badu before they want some of this Peggy Sue looking bitch? I mean, let's talk about it respectfully. Don't you think that the aliens would have abducted Michael Jackson before he would abduct this country bammer person from Montana that had nothing to show for it? Don't you think that aliens would have abducted Elvis Presley before they abducted this sheriff that was I heard a weird noise and I'm driving my vehicle and all of a sudden I see a bright light pop up. Like, who are you and why do the aliens want you out of everybody? They don't want no Erykah Badu. They don't want no Megan Thee Stallion. They don't want no Nicki Minaj. They don't want no girl. Listen, they don't want no Cardi B, but they want y'all? Can we talk about it for a minute? Honey, hello? When Mars attack, like they want these basic ass, no name ass, ain't got shit to. Listen, it almost remind me of this other shit that people out here talking about. I can't with it, girl. I can't. Like I'm just like, God bless these people. And the people that want to jump on it. No, I believe in aliens too because I had a story. Listen, I was told an alien story and I'm going to share it with y'all. Let me see who's in here before I tell y'all this alien story. And they wonder what happened. Yes, people do that. You said it, Auntie Patty. Girl, the shadow candles cast is very important. Yes, it is. I feel that way. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Not Abraham. Lots of people still in their Lord's stuff. They are. They're still in their Lord's stuff, girl. And like I said, girl, I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that respectfully. They worry about nonsense, right? Those lyrics are spells. People let spells set in and mess up their life. You know what's so crazy? And that's another thing, too. You said it. People let spells manifest, they let them set in, and then they wonder why their life be so fucked up. I kept saying on a situation that there's magic involved. And I think the person who I was talking to thought that I was speaking about somebody putting a spell on them. But in reality, I'm like, no, your energy manifested and it backfired on you. So you were trying to manifest something, you manifested it incorrectly or inaccurately in a sense, and this energy fucked you up. The remnants of this energy fucked you up. And of course, when it comes down to you manifesting more blessings, the universe is not going to allow it to happen instantaneously or immediately. You're going to have to work for it now because, of course, instead of you being okay with that and saying, you know what, this is something that I did, I caused this, blah, 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 you're still holding on to this concept as if it's a real thing, and it's not. It's a figment of your imagination. Okay, the experiences was real, but the energy felt was a figment of your imagination. And so either way, I'm like, girl, there you go. Spells manifesting, spells sitting in, and it's fucking people up. Respectfully. Same here, girl. I got two close friends. Girl, I love the thumbnail of this video. Thank you so much, honey. I said bye to Meanie in 2025. Me too. You ain't gonna die, Mia. Souls are forever. Well, you know what I mean, though. We all gotta die one day in the sense of, why do I care about pleasing other people? And that's something I can't get over neither. Because, of course, when it's energy, y'all, and y'all know I talk about stuff when I'm in the energy. People I know have talked about other people being digmatized. They talked about other people being stupid, right? Oh, this silly bee, thinking this man wanted, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up in those same exact circumstances. And now all of a sudden, you can't tell them to get out that energy. You can't tell them the same thing. Oh, girl, you're being digmatized. Oh, girl, you're being stupid. Because now it's, oh, this person is being careless. Oh, this person don't care about my feelings. Step back and think about it for a minute. A married man, a married woman, you get a divorce from your man. I could see that taking some time to heal from. You dated a man for a couple of years. You learned the in and out about a man. You learned his favorite color. You've learned his temperament, which takes about 5 months, by the way, to learn people's temperament. You learned his temperament. You acclimated yourself to his temperament, and then it ends. I could see you being distraught and fucked up. But I know people that literally dated people for one day, and they were like ready to like crash out and run people over. I know people that dated somebody for a month, 2 months, 3 months. I mean, like, there's a spectrum. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, unless you're going to tell me that this man paid your bills, this man did something, like, life-changing for you, I'm going to say you're punking me, or I'm going to say there's something else going on outside of just this man's situation. Or this woman's situation, depending on, you know, if it's a man or woman, because I have, you know, women, I got friends that like women, I like, you know, I have women that like men, and I also got women that, men that like men, you know, I know all the rainbows. So I'm just like, girl, like, in my mind, I'm just thinking to myself, like, but you be talking about people that get digmatized, and you're getting a little digmatized, because there's nothing else you could say this man gave you that would have you, like, in a daze right now. And that's just what I be thinking about. Where I'm just like, are these people in a psychosis and they're not aware of their own psychosis? Like, that's sometimes I be thinking too. Like, when people say stuff or things go on, I'm like, are they in a psychosis and they're not aware of their own psychosis? And so, or do they know and they're like trying to play games with you? Because, you know, people be gaslighting people shit too sometimes. Like, oh, you're right, but I'm not going to tell you that you're right. So I'm going to play like, no, I really am hurt by this. Like, there's no way. There's no way you're hurt by this woman that you only knew for a day and it didn't work out between y'all. Unless, of course, you had your hopes up high. You thought this was going to work and it didn't work out. And, of course, that's your fault. You learned from that. You learned from that. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way, honey. I mean, then also going into age. Age perspective. You're 19, 20. 21, if you never dated a man and or a woman and that happened, I can see you also being stuck on stupid too, because they say what, puppy love. But as a grown man or woman, I'm just like, girl, if you're 25, 30, or 35, and you're like stuck on a man or a woman that haven't done shit for you but dicked you down good and told you that you were pretty or you look good or you taste good, like, honey, I'm scared for you. I'm scared for you, baby. Respectfully, I'm scared. I'm nervous. You know what they say? You cover your eyes and you don't look. Like, I almost want to say that too. Like, I don't even want to know about any other experiences or seeing any other thing because I'm like, this is a train wreck ready to happen, and I don't want to see it when it happens. And even going into other stuff, like people I know, I've talked to personally, they couldn't get over, and I'm like, ooh, like this is kind of scary. Like even when I have that discussion with them, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of scary that people think that people owe them things. Like that's scary to think about, y'all. Like 19 years old, silly bitch in love. Okay, 21, silly bitch in love. 25, silly bitch in love. 27, silly bitch in love. I think I really got over shit at like 30, 31. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, um, yeah, I mean, girl, like, there's no way, like, oh, girl, I don't want to think about that. It's gonna make my head hurt, honey. I agree 100%. Girl, I love lemonade. Come on, I've been looking at the moon lately. Girl, I ate 2 cookies just now. Come on, her. Same here. I feel that me, Molly Whopper. Okay. Oh hell, the fuck, not Cardi B. Creepy. True. I could tell you so many damn heartbreak stories, girl. Right. But I tell myself it's time to move on. You're right, girl. You're right. So listen. Let me get into this. Shout out to the 6 thumbs up. Let me get into this, y'all. I don't know. It says 0 people are in here, so I'm probably talking to myself, but I'm going to say it anyway. So let me tell y'all an alien story. So when I was going to school to get certified in computer science, because I wanted to do computer work. I'm not going to get into the details. So I was like, I want to go to school to become certified in this. And so I go here, and the computer teacher, he was like a little crippled. And of course, I don't ask people like, what happened to you? Were you born like this? But I just had this urge to ask him. And I was like, I'm not going to ask him, but I have this urge, like I want to ask him, but I'm not going to ask, but I want to ask, but I'm not. And so every day I thought about this. So one day I remember I told him, like, I really want to get down this computer. And I had a friend, I was like, hey, you can come in too. You just got to sign the visitor book. So I got out of the class, I think it was like 3 o'clock, but I ended up staying until 7 o'clock. Right? 7 p.m., y'all, to get extra training on this course because I really wanted to pick up. And he was like, I'm here anyway, so you come back, blah, blah, blah. So we're talking, and I think we were talking about FEMA camps and stuff. I can't remember, but the conversation got a little weird. And of course, he's like telling us a story how he was stationed somewhere. And of course, he was stationed somewhere in the 70s. And he was stationed there, and to get to this place you wouldn't be able to know that this station was there, right? Because it's a long road that takes you there. And long story short, he said that he goes into this, and I feel like I'm even saying too much talk about computer science and all that, y'all. Oh my god. Because you know how these people get down, girl. You know how these people get down. I'm not going to say too much. There we go. Because I don't know what type of clearance or anything I'm, getting into. So I'm not going to say too much. So he tells us a situation. And he said the person at this gate was about 7 feet tall. And this man is like 6'1". And so if he said they're 7 feet tall, I'm going to believe it because he's 6'1". And he's like, yeah, this person was 7 feet tall. They didn't say much. Their presence was very strong. They made sure everything was secured, and they let us in. And then he said that the second go around, because they were, transporting stuff. The second go around, which was the next day, he meets this person again, and this person has someone else come out. So this person is there guarding the gate, but some other person or some other thing comes around And this thing is talking, but it's nighttime, right? Because all this happens at night. And he said that he's hearing, but he's not seeing the mouth move. But he's hearing this voice clear. And he said that the voice asked him, did he the person asked him, because we're gonna keep it sane and normal. The person asked him, did he fill out some type of documentation, because in order to come in you have to have this. So he's telling this person, like, yes, I did sign it, and I was here last night, and this guy could tell you that. And the guy never said anything prior to this. And he said, the guy said, no. Like, and the voice was deep. He said he heard multiple tones within the voice. It was not like a human voice. And the thing just said no. And so he literally gets shoved in the car, and the little thing is telling him, when you leave, don't you come back, because you come back, there's going to be problems. And so he's so confused, and he's like reaching out to like his, superiors, and he's like, hey, what's going on? They won't let me back in there, and I have to complete my assignment. If I don't complete my assignment, then blah, 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 blah. And so, of course, the superior, one of them said, don't go back. Give me a couple of days and I'll let you know when it's safe to go. So he ended up getting a call from a separate superior, and the superior told him, you go ahead and go, because if you don't finish this assignment, then we're all going to get in trouble. And we don't want that. We don't want that. And so he goes, and when he goes, he said it felt like this mission was longer than expected usually. And this time he went with a buddy. It wasn't him by himself. He went with a buddy. Because of course he was like, just because it's a problem, I want you to come. And so it's, I'm jumping the gun. And so he goes, it's a little longer to get there, it seemed like, to where he's like, wait a minute, where's this place at? And they get there, and this time the being has like another being just as big as the man has another person just as big as him, and then like 3 or 4 of these small people. And they were like, oh, he comes back. Now, mind you, it's dark. It's some light at this gate. And that's what he's saying. There's some light at this gate. But they didn't come in the same vehicle. So these people would not know that it's him again, because it's dark. And the only way for them to know, you have to get out the car. They got to come into the car, and they got to shine light. And so literally, the friend gets out the car, and they're scared, because they're like, oh my God, basically anything could go down, because they have protocols, they have rules that if people come here unannounced, you warn them, and if they come back, you can, get rid of them. And so either way, he said that while the friend is out of the, and I'm saying friend, y'all, because like I said, I don't know what I need to be saying or what I can't say, what I can't, but I'm just saying on this alien story. And so what ended up happening was this thing, ended up, the friend went over there to talk to this, the main thing. The other thing is like looking at him. Mind you, they don't know for sure who it is, but of course they're like, bitch, this motherfucker better not get out the car. And then he said that literally when the friend got back in the car, he said, okay, they said I can go in, but I'm going to have to take you back to the end of the road. Mind you, it took them longer to get there prior. I'm going to have to take you back to the end of the road because they don't want you to come in here with me. And he's like, but I have a clearance and I have my stuff here. And right when he's saying that, he said somebody else came from the back of this little station thing and basically yanked him out of the car. He do not remember the door opening or anything. Yanked him out the car, slammed it to the ground, had this weapon in his face, and shot at him like, what are you doing here? You weren't supposed to come back, and blah, blah, blah. And, I could take you out right now, blah, blah, blah. And so he said that when he got ready to, to look up to see what was going on, he was literally knocked out. He don't remember what happened, but he ended up waking up in a situation, and his whole left side of his body, like his arm and stuff, was paralyzed. And so, of course, the friend that went with him mysteriously ended up getting demoted, and mysteriously he went crazy, and mysteriously they lost contact. But other people told him, by the way, it was just his friend and this whole situation there, that they got into an altercation and that they were basically instructed to take him out, but this friend kind of intervened, and the only thing that he had happen to him was the arm getting fucked up. And y'all, when I tell y'all, like his whole left, it was his left arm, like three of his fingers, he cannot open. And I'm just looking at this man, and of course, I've known this man prior to this for like 6 months. He's very honest. He's very upfront. I know he's an honest, upfront person, and so him telling us that story, and he told us, multiple stories, but this story in particular, y'all, it made me feel like, ooh, like I was scared. Like even going into like I think like 2 years after that, I got invited somewhere and it was giving me the same thing. It was like a dim lit dark road. And I was thinking like, wait a minute, this is kind of giving me the story that this person told me. And it freaked me out, bitch. Why I left and I didn't go back. I was like, fuck no, no. Because they was giving me like, honey, yeah, I don't know what's about to go down. I don't know, I don't know. But like I said, that made me like very fearful. And so that's one of the alien stories I was told. And once again, I don't think that aliens are like this skelly face person coming from another planet and stuff. I think they've always been here. And I also think a little bit of it is influenced by other people. And like I said, I think they've been here. I think they allow certain things to happen, but these things are demonic. And like I said, everybody who have real alien stories have some type of deformity. All these other people that have these alien stories and they're normal and all they got is a book, I'm like, girl, you lying. I'm like, girl, you a lie. You lying, girl. You did not have no alien encounter, girl. I got abducted, and I just remember, like, I don't remember what happened after that, but I just remember I saw a white light. And it's like, but how would you remember how would you remember before the abduction, but you don't remember after the abduction? And then, like I said, it's always the country bumpkins. It's always the people that I feel like ain't gonna have no type of power. They have no type of secret DNA. They're not a Henrietta type of energy. Where it's like, but why didn't the aliens abduct Henrietta? Why didn't the aliens abduct other people that definitely, you know what I mean, that definitely have some type of power? It was very creepy. Yeah, honey. Oh, you grab the snack. Okay, you grab the snack and you come right on back. Yeah. So there you go. I do, like I said, think aliens are real. Um, Not the way people are saying it though. We talked about it before, and that's it. Same thing with Sasquatch and stuff, honey. I said I didn't believe it, but Spirit showed me something recently, and I said, oh, you know what? I don't think that it is the way they say it is, but I do think it's something connected to the Aboriginal people, indigenous people. That's it. You okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, very creepy, honey. So let me go, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping through. Thank you for allowing me to share some energy with you. And yes, honey, I'm gonna relax myself. What time is it? It's 1:30 a.m. Good gosh. Good gosh, honey. Good gosh, babe. Good gosh, honey. It's 1:30. It's 1:31, honey, a.m., y'all. I was expecting to get a little bit of something, something. But I guess I can't get a little something, something. And when I say a little something, something, I was going to pop me open some chocolate-covered cinnamon bears. But I guess that ain't going to happen tonight. Anyway. Bye, y'all. And thank you for stopping by, Auntie Patty. Love and truth. Signs of it are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Auntie Patty. I want to tap into some more stuff, y'all. There be some times where things pop up and I'm like, ooh, let me jump on this and talk about this. And I'm like, oh, girl. But they said if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So I guess I need to make it a ritual where I wake up, I'm ready, and I just jump on. Oh, I could take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. But anyway, we'll come back, honey. Love and light. And good seeing you, Auntie Patty. And everybody else who stopped by. Thank y'all so much for your love and support. And of course, Tuesday we're jumping in, y'all. Check out the blog spot, or excuse me, check out the community post. And shout out to the people who already joined in. I gotta do something to y'all. When I be offering event stuff and people be jumping on a bandwagon and stuff, yo, what to say bandwagon? I gotta start doing something for y'all, honey. Oh, and by the way, y'all, let's talk about it. We're doing a birthday surprise. And of course, I told people if they join this certain event, they do certain things on certain days, they'll be able to be invited. And of course, if only 3 people jump in on that, you all are going to be invited. Okay, how about that? That's how we're going to do, honey. You all going to be invited, okay? And you have to figure out how you're going to get here and, all that good tea. But, girl, we're going to talk about some tea, y'all. The summer solstice, we can get in with the get on. We can talk about some teas that we can't talk about on YouTube. Girl, we can just have some fun. We can just have a, celebration. And, come back home, y'all. There's nothing like being around other spiritual people. Something that I noticed, y'all, and it's just so weird, especially now with the current climate of the world. When you step into a space with other spiritual people, you feel like if they are really what they say they are, you feel like a sense of homeness. And yeah, I told you I went into a spiritual shop that kind of blew my mind. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks now, y'all, and I am gonna try to go back, if not this week, next week, where it really, y'all, it might be. If it's not gonna be this week, for sure next week. When I tell y'all that this energy felt like I was at home, y'all. I felt like I was coming home to see Auntie, see Nana and Auntie. Like I felt like I felt at home. And I had this discussion with another spiritual person, and we were like finishing each other's sentences, y'all. They were like, "Yes, I love that place," and oh my god, and I felt good. And when I came out there, I felt it. No, me too. I went in there. I felt like I came out. I felt recharged. I felt like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I felt like, oh my god, the universe. Like, listen. And so that's how I'm gonna keep that. Anyway, yeah, it was beautiful, Auntie Patty. It was beautiful. When I tell you it was beautiful, like baby. And let me tell you what's even crazier. I went in the area with another friend, but we ended up splitting up. I don't even know why we ended up splitting up, but we ended up splitting up. So it was like meant for me to go. How would I say this? I feel like everything happened for a reason, y'all. I really do. Something that I can share with y'all, and I'm sitting there thinking about it now as we're talking. Like, it's crazy to think about it. I'm thinking, like, this is so fucking crazy. I felt like I was meant to go to this place by myself. So that way, nobody else's energy deters my first experience. Because I noticed that sometimes when you go places with people, sometimes people energy may not be there, or people may feel some type of way about something. I don't know. I won't get into that because people think I'm bringing up old stuff. But even going into the sense, y'all, where I'm like, wait a minute. So I was supposed to be going somewhere, and we were going in a group. And I ordered some shoes because, of course, I said, I got to go to this place looking good. And of course, I'm not a clubby person, but this place is more like a lounge. They serve food and stuff, play good music. And I was like, I want to go. And everything came, y'all, except for those shoes. And the crazy thing about it is, I was thinking last night, because it was supposed to come Saturday. So I was thinking Friday night, like, this is not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be meeting up with these people in this type of energy. And of course, I said they had weird energy. And I said I had weird energy. But I had this feeling like this is not supposed to be the way that y'all meet up. And so, of course, I was like, energy's feeling weird. I even voiced this to one of the persons. I was like, yeah, I felt like energy was weird. And I said, I'm just going to let the energy fall the way it needs to fall. And of course, it was the shoes. It was the shoes. The shoes did not come. And so I said, oh my God. Right? But now I'm thinking about it because I was upset. But I'm thinking about going back into Friday. Like, no, I was not supposed to meet with these people in this energy. And this is why the shoes, because of course I wanted to go with the shoes, and the shoes were not delivered. And so that's that. So I said no. Like I said, it's so weird that that's how Spirit was like, no, this is not the energy. No, you're not gonna see them in this energy. And like I said, I'm not saying it's my energy or their energy because of course it was not clarified. But I just felt like you're not. It's not. You're not meant to meet with them in this energy. That's all I got from it. And I was like, And now looking back, y'all, 24 hours later, like that's what it was. Is that something was gonna stop it, and it did. Okay. So anyway, that's it, y'all. Come on, I know that's right. Come on in here, Auntie Patty, baby. Listen, there's so many stories I could tell you. I could pull testimonies up. I told y'all when things start happening, that spiritual. I was gonna start taking pictures, uploading stuff, y'all. Some things you can, like that experience that happened earlier. I was gonna do that, but I was like, ooh, that would have been exploiting this man. But I can do the package thing. I can do the package thing, girl. And I'm gonna show y'all that this was like, I'm gonna show you evidence, honey, of me messing with somebody, girl. You're gonna gag, y'all. And I also show the items too, because I still got the item. Yeah. I still got the item, and I'm looking at the box right now with the items in it right now. Still looking at the box. Yeah, honey. It gagged me. I'm gagged. So yeah, let me play a round of Fortnite before I go to bed, honey. Bye for now. Thanks so much for stopping by, Auntie Patty. Y'all be good, okay? Love and light. And I want to say this too, for the one who was spying. You don't have to spy in the shadows. Come forward.